Okay, I think it's working now. I hope. Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube. Okay. All right, we can start with part one questions. Are you ready, Stella?
I'm ready.
Okay. So here's your question. Question number one. What's the name of your hometown?
So my hometown named Hanoi, which is a capital city of Vietnam.
Mhm. You can say something like, and it is, for example, it's a small city, or it's just a village, or you can say, and I love this, I love my hometown because of this. Just a little bit of information.
Right. Okay. So, okay. So I live in a big city. It's named Hanoi, and this is the capital city of Vietnam. It's living here is quite hustle and bustle, but I love the ease of living in here.
Okay, so how long have you been living in that city?
I have been living in the cities for 10 years since I was born,
Mhm.
and I also moved to other cities 2 years ago for studying. Now I'm back to this city to continue my studying.
Okay, so last question for part one. Would you say it's an interesting place?
Recently I visited a city is famous for traveling and like entertainment. So it is in the southern area of Vietnam, and the most interesting about this place is the weather. It's always cool around the year, and people often visit there to avoid the heat waves from the southern area.
Mm, all right, yeah, that sounds interesting. Let's move now to your cue card. Would that be okay? I'll send the screenshot to our group. Uh, cue card. So your cue card is about, this is about um, outdoor activity, your favorite outdoor activity. I don't know if I have. Oh, okay. So talk about your favorite outdoor activity and what activity is that, where do you do it, how often do you do it, and describe why do you like this activity. I'll give you 1 minute for preparation, and then, uh, all right, your 1 minute starts now. Time is up. You can start speaking.
So one of my favorite outdoor activities is visiting museums or mausoleums. So I often visit museums and mausoleums during my holiday or my spare time. And one of my favorite places is Ho Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum. So it's located in the central city and is I can travel by bus or my electric bike, so it's very convenient to get there. And I often go there with my friends before the test season. Oh, because we always wish to have a flying colors. And for Vietnamese students, is a ritual for us because we believe that when we visit there, we will have we will get lucky, and maybe more feel more confident before we take a test. And this customs has created has existed since ancient times, so it's very special, especially in my hometown. So I love these activities because I actually can share more time with my friends and visit like historical places. Have me to learn more about history and everything about my cultures. So that's why I love visiting there,
Okay.
and that is also my favorite outdoor activity.
Okay, time is up. All right, that's interesting. I like to visit museums, um, but it's not really my most favorite activity. But you mentioned about mausoleum. Mausoleum.
Yeah,
It's
that's right.
like, yeah, it's really, I know I would love to see those. I don't know if I can't remember if I did that, although um, years ago we we went to visit one of the cities, one of the provinces here in Canada, to see like a cemetery, an old cemetery, and there were like um, tombs there that were still like from the 1800s. So I thought that was really interesting. Is that what you like too? You
Yeah,
like?
that's right. I
Yeah,
love history.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I remember that. I said, wow, this is cool. I like when it shows the year, how long was that, and to think that it's in front of you. It's still it exists. It
Yeah.
existed and it's in front of you. Yeah, I think it's so cool. Okay, let's go to our part three questions. I have to look for those. Okay, so your part three. Oh, not this one. Part three questions. So they are not related to our first questions of part one questions or the cue card. But okay, so when do you, it's about children, how to raise children, and if they are, parents should allow them to have their own opinion while they're young. Okay,
Um,
that's the context. So when do you think children start to have their own opinions?
this is a very interesting subject. But based on my experience, children have their awareness and their develop the fully awareness about themselves and is around over 12 years old. at that period of time, they will have their own opinions, and um, I mean, this is difficult. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to say.
Okay, when do you think
Uh,
children start to have their own opinion? So I think you can mention about a certain stage of a
ah,
child. Do you think
oh,
that since, for example, when they start talking, or do you think that it's better to wait until they are teenagers to
mm,
express their opinion? So you can try
um,
again. Okay, I'll ask the question again. When do you think children start to have their own opinions? You know the word opinion, right?
yes. So from my perspective, children develop in different stages. Some children will have their own opinions. I mean, they want to express their ideas and opinions since early stage around like 6 to 8 years old. But
Mm-hmm.
some who have the like special characteristics, they probably maybe because of their intellectual so they would have their own like experience and maybe opinions since they know how to talk.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking like with this kind of question, for example, if it comes up,
Mm,
we can, I'm not sure, with IELTS, anyways, it's not about whether your answer is correct or wrong. There's no correct or wrong, right? It's just
yeah,
how you speak, how you can explain your answer. So I'm
that's
thinking
right.
like you can just say, if I'll get this question, I'll just say, well, when they are young, they can express what they want to wear for that day. Then I will allow
Yeah.
them. If with the child is, oh,
Ah.
I want that, I want that shirt, the white collar shirt. I don't want the pink one. So that's an
Mm,
opinion, right?
yes.
Maybe I would say, like, if that kind of opinion, then I'll allow them as soon as they can, they would feel comfortable which one they would like when it comes to
That's
clothing,
right.
example.
Ah. Yeah, that's much
So
better.
yeah, it's just simple. You can mention an example like about their clothing. They can express their opinion when they're young. I don't mind. But it's not, you don't allow them to express their opinion about their budgets, financial, uh, family finances, because they're still young. But when it comes to their shoes, when it comes to their style of hair, yeah, why not?
Yeah. Well, that's really cool perspective. We can talk about different perspective, like um talking about daily lives. And yes, of course, they could able to express themselves, but more complex ideas on concepts like finance, economics, then yep.
Exactly. Okay. Now, here's your second question, and we'll just take three questions. So this is gonna be your second, and then we'll have the last. So second question, are children's opinions influenced by their parents?
Uh, so it depends on the 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 parenting, the kind of parenting.
Mhm,
So many children, of course, they will have their own opinions because they develop independent thinking,
mhm,
and by the way that they were nurtured,
mhm,
um, they will soon develop their like independent in every aspect of their life. For example, the way of their thinking. But many students, many children who are raised by conservative parents who are
mhm,
not allowed to, I mean, do things that they want to do and kind of controlled by their parents, then I think it's difficult for them to maybe think on their own, like do everything on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of they kind of rely into their parents.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. When they are young, all they know are the things that their parents taught them, right? When they
That's right.
were raised by when they were raised by their parents. So it's not a surprise if their opinions are, um, influenced by their parents' opinion, especially when it comes to values, moral values,
That's
for
right.
example. But then when they get to adult and they start to explore in their own, independence. For example, they're away from home, they're working, and they live with other people like friends. So they start to make their own opinion apart from their parents. But when they are still, especially when they're still living at home, mostly their opinions, their ideas are influenced by what they see from their own parents or from.
Mm,
Okay, so last question, Stella. Who are smart chil who are smart children likely to be influenced by? Okay, so it's about smart children. So who are smart children likely to be influenced by?
um, well, particularly for smart children, or brilliant children, I think they will be influenced by their role models. Their role models could be their parents, or maybe some professors or geniuses. For example, I watched a movie about a genius child, and he has a high GPA and also everything. Uh, yeah, and most of the time he admired a Thomas Edison because he wanted to be such innovative and creative, and
Mhm.
also yeah, kind of humble like his role model. So he mostly asks, not really asks for, but he usually like I'm mm, instead of asking for his parents, he asks for like someone who think that an expert in that field, similar to his role model.
Yeah, I like the way you use the word role model. Yeah, and you're right. When children see certain individuals and they admire that person, they look up to that person because they're nice, they're kind, or they're intelligent, then their opinions or ideas are influenced by those people. And I also notice because intelligent kids, they like to read, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
Oh.
and whatever their ideas can be influenced by the authors. And
Mm.
that's why they form their own opinion. They start to form their own opinion apart from their parents. Because, for example, their parents, they are not fond of reading. Uh, because
Mm.
there are kids that are intelligent, although the parents are not. There are kids that are gifted out of parents that are just ordinary people. So, because most of those kids, they like to read, they like to watch scientific movies or shows or to discover different things, so they can be influenced by that. And yeah,
Mm.
that that would be that would become their role models, the authors or professors or. Okay, so yeah, that's about it, Stella. We can next week I can host Friday. Usually it's Friday for me is good, but just yesterday I couldn't do it.
Oh. So, do you want to practice?
No, I'm good because I have to. It's already late. Yeah, so
Sorry.
that's fine with me. I will practice next time, next week. So is that okay if we just wrap it up?
It's okay for me.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you so much for your precious time.
welcome. Okay, so I'll see you next week then. Okay, bye,
See you.
Stella.
Have a good